Hello. Welcome.
No, wait, hold on. Run that one back still.
He said the podcast voice is coming out.
No, that was not podcast voice. That's Valentine's Day voice, man. You have to take that off.
Hey, we're currently recording this on Saturday the 30th of February at 9:35 p.m. And you're now listening to the Rule of Thirds podcast. Amen. Let's have a little introduction. I guess I'll start first. My name's Burns, full name Bernard. I'm a digital designer at The Guardian and also a creative director at Imprint Church. I run a little movement called Kitso, currently exploring fashion and that. And you can find me on Instagram, because I don't like Twitter, at Burns Jr. So Burns spelled BERNSJNR. Burns Studios, Burns.studios, and we are Kitso. We are KTIZO. And that's where you can find me. What we saying, man?
All right, guys. Hey, it's Michael. I go by Man Like Mike on the internet. I am a multimedia designer and artist. So I'm freelancing at the moment, working on a range of different design things, from branding to social media ideas, and work on the art space of just like coming out with ideas and general storytelling. And I was once a former, well, I don't think you can ever be a former graduate, but I am a bioengineering graduate that has turned into a creative, My mum's worst nightmare, but we move, and hopefully she'll see the answers of her prayers being answered through this. So yeah, that's me. I can be found on @_Man Like Mike on both Instagram and on Twitter.
Lovely.
Amazing. Hello, everyone. My name is Jude. Graphic designer, photographer, filmmaker, and music producer. Been in design for over 10 years, or 10 years.
Damn.
I'm not really sure at this point. Just kind of like a blur.
Damn.
Just finished my internship at Warner, so worked on multiple projects.
Tell us.
Worked on multiple projects from campaigns with Dua Lipa to get to Royal Blood. The list goes on.
Wow.
So just finished my year and luckily had the honor of designing Get's album right before I left.
Conflict of interest.
But yeah, I'm so done. Wait, that actually
Grab your copy.
Hey, when's it? Will it be out by the time we release this?
Depends if we release this by the 19th.
Oh, really?
When's the 19th?
I mean, I got scared. I thought
19th
that
is
was
next
the
week,
actual
Friday.
Oh, next Friday.
Pod.
Maybe.
Hey.
Yeah.
So make sure you pre it
Grab
and
your
appreciate the
copy
art. Come on.
But yeah, so worked at Warner, freelancing now. I run Kente Club, which is a art house. We focused on projecting the arts, funding the arts, working with the arts, anything to do with the arts. We're for the artist, by the artist. So I run that on the side. Again, music producer. I've been producing for about 6-7 years now. Multiple projects under my belt. So hopefully 2021 is another amazing
Why do you say
year,
that?
and I'm here with these I'm here with these two lovely under my belt, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He's carrying.
thick now, that's what
He's
I'm
carrying.
There's some weight.
I'm so carrying what?
Wait.
What am I carrying?
You're carrying some weight.
Okay.
Some power.
But yeah, here with these two lovely gentlemen.
Oh.
A pleasure. Honestly. But yeah, Rule of Third podcast.
Come on. Why did we call it Rule of Thirds podcast?
Well, we kind of had a list, didn't we? Who actually came up with the name? I saw it was between. It definitely wasn't me. I think it was Burns or Jude. It's one of you two.
No, I think this is. I think this is Jude's one though.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Give me my output. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think to be fair, I think we were playing on the idea of Rule of Thirds in photography and design. This whole idea of separating. There's always 3 parts to it. Blah blah. Trinity, because we're spiritual.
Spiritual.
I thought the blasphemy.
Believers of Christ.
That's kind of a bit mad. But yeah,
Levers of
that
Christ.
and also just the idea of us being 3 people. I think that's kind of like the most on the nose, you know, explanation for the name Rule of Thirds. You know, why are you drinking Jack Daniels?
Oh, we love it.
Why you
We
guys
love to
drinking?
see it. We love to see it.
Hold on. I missed this memo. Why did no one tell me we were drinking?
I can't.
I just spoke about holy,
I'm not gonna lie.
and here we are. Everyone's drinking.
This is my
Like,
own
let's-
Valentine's situation happening at home. So that's hence the drink. That's why. It sounds really sad.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I just wish I knew that that's what we're doing. Then I would have prepared myself. I still have some open bottles.
Hey,
You can pop.
bottle.
Exactly, you can pop, please. But yeah, Rule of Thirds. I guess that's kind of why we named ourselves Rule of Thirds.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if we said this in the beginning, but what do we actually talk about? I guess.
Oh yeah. So we cover. It's funny because I think what we cover covers the rule of thirds. So we cover art, design, and culture. So again, another 3. So yeah, man. Pretty much we're covering a broad range of stuff. So like, if you're not a designer, if you're not whatever, like this podcast is still for you, man. Because we're covering a wide range of things, and like it'll be great to even get your thoughts in as well. We'll have an email soon. We'll probably in the description. So yeah, email us and stuff. But yeah, man.
Tell us how you feel,
Yeah.
how your day was,
Maybe not that, but
how your Valentine's was. Did you even have a Valentine?
Not serious. So,
Valentine.
how's everyone's week been? I don't know. I said week like that. Week. Anyways, how's everyone's week been in general?
I'll let Burns go. 'Cause he's had a very interesting week. I could tell you.
This guy.
Did you say where you work?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Where I
do
work.
you want people to know this, or do you not mind?
Oh, if you're listening to this in 2021, I'm currently at the Guardian.
Oh, okay. He even said again.
I like that.
Said, for all of y'all that didn't hear it the first time,
Oh,
I
you don't
know
know.
what You know what it is, yeah?
Burns.
Ultimately,
First of his name.
man, ultimately, I've got to give glory to God in it, because like legit, I said it earlier on in it, but 5 weeks ago I was working in finance. Today I work in design.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I say it, I want people to know that like God can actually make ways open. Do you get it? God can make things possible. And I think for me, I was gonna give up and not pursue design as a full-on career, because I was like, no one's seeing my stuff. No one's even everyone's rejecting my applications, but still yet I'm in this role, and it's kind of mad. Because it kind of shows you that if you don't dream big or if you don't trust God, then you actually stop yourself from going to certain places. And I think
That makes sense. Yeah.
being a creative as well, like obviously Max spoke about him doing what was it? He did engineer, is it
yeah,
bioengineering?
bioengineering, yeah.
Bioengineering, and like that is such a drastic sort of change from what you're doing now. Do you get it? But I think the roles that we do today, they're roles of risk, but they're roles of luxury as well. I think for me, every time, like, I'm so blessed, and I think we should all be blessed that we get to do something like this, because we literally get to like co-create with God, the way I see it. Do you get it? So all of us have got these ideas.
Damn, nigga. Like, what you say? Go create with God, yeah.
We co-creating it, man. We co-laborers.
Can that be like our thingy? Rule of Thirds. Co-create with God.
With God.
With God.
Even the British one, not God. God.
No,
Father
with God. With God.
But no, legit, man. Like, we're doing a mad thing right now, fam. Like, think about things you create. No one gets to see it because it's coming from your unique perspective.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But like, I think what's interesting for me and what you're saying is, and I don't know if I agree or disagree, but it's just interesting because you're basically saying that it's not up to you. Almost like it's like you're saying the role of luxury. Almost like you're lucky to have someone pay you to do something you like to do. Because especially for you two anyway, it started as a hobby and then turned into a career really. So that I'm saying is very interesting because me, I never saw it like that. It was like, if I fail at this, that's me done.
Wow.
So it's not about luxury. I feel like I've worked so hard that if no one's paying me for this, then that's 10 years down the drain. So I can't, like, for me anyway, I can never see it as like, not, again, I don't think, yeah, it's not that I'm saying, I don't know if I disagree or agree, or maybe just like indifferent. But I guess it's very interesting to see the perspective,
I guess,
from someone who's like coming from that to something else.
I guess, because I feel like with Burns and I coming at it from like a different like pathway, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the luxury for me is more like, it's almost like a privilege to do something that we, how do I explain it? Like we see it, I guess, as like a privilege to be doing this because we know that there was a chance it probably wasn't going to be a possibility. And also, especially when you're surrounded by like, I know for me anyway, people that are maybe working in roles that they don't necessarily enjoy. And like I guess the world in large, there's maybe quite a few people that are working in roles that they may not necessarily enjoy the work that they do, but they just like, cool, this is what I'm committed to. This is going to put food on the table and stuff. So I'm just going to kind of do it. So it's almost like, oh, wow, the fact that this is actually happening. And this is like, obviously we have like our good and bad days in any job, but deep down, because we are all really still interested, passionate about the work that we do, that's something that just keeps us going. And the fact that that's not normal life for a lot of people. So it's like, wow, we actually do this. Like working on some projects, sometimes we're like, God, this is a bit mad, not gonna lie, because there was
surreal.
like so close. Like this could not have been a thing. Like I could have said, you know what?
Yeah.
Bioengineering, we'll figure it. I really didn't like my degree as well, but
with the vibes,
just you know, we'll do it. Yeah, I'll just make my mom happy and stuff.
Day by day,
because it's caused friction. But at the same time, like I know that there's something at the other end of it that I feel like I'm praying anyway that my mom will be like, oh, kind of get it now. It seems quite like, you know, it seems possible. And I do know that like for other people as well, not to sound like extra deep, but for like the next generation as well, especially we're 3 black designers. That's not like a common thing.
I'm not black.
Okay. So
I'm kidding.
Guy. But no, like we're 3 black designers in the UK doing what we do. And this isn't, you know, especially with that accessibility and people may not know about this space. Like growing up, I did not know that you could be paid to do design stuff.
That's what I want to answer. Jude, like, how did you discover this? Because obviously you've gone straight into it. Like, for I think probably for me and Mike, like we didn't see this as a route. It's funny because when we got into university, that's when we saw it. But before that, we didn't know about it. So like, how did you discover this?
Shoot, I mean, the thing is, again, it's just a series of kind of like events that kind of led up to it. So I think for me, it's a very unique situation because when I grew up in Ghana for like majority of my what do you call the years, like from 5 to like 14? That's a very weird time. I don't really know.
Childhood / adolescent.
Childadolescence. Childadolescence. Okay. Yeah, that time. That so you know, it's very interesting because I think for me that was when I was kind of like sculpting the idea of what I could do and what I was capable of and blah blah blah, and like I was always surrounded by people who were doing creative things in general, just because of the neighborhood that I grew up in. So there were a lot of like people who were carpenters, masons, you know, not I was going to take a left turn there, but let me say not the Illuminati, but yeah, not the Illuminati, please, not yet. Anyway, but yeah, the masonry, like building contractors and all these kind of things. So there were people who were they used their hands a lot, and I think for me it was something that I was just kind of like wow, you can do this and make money. And that the thing is, in my neighborhood, those are the people who are making money. If you like, I never saw lawyers and doctors, like those people. I never saw like on a day to day, like my neighbors you hear in the morning, every single morning, he's hitting, making tables. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was very normal to see people, like for me, it was like, if you don't use your hands to work, then, you know, you're not doing. So I started like kind of cultivating that whole idea. We did a lot of fine art when I was younger. And then when I came to this country at 14, for me, it was like, that's all I've known, you know? And like, again, because I think for me, I would say more privileged than others, because my parents were never like, don't do the arts. Like, that's never going to get you any money. They were always kind of like, if you're happy, do it. But you best not come and cry that, oh, I decided to do this and it didn't work out. That's your decision as a person. So you take charge of your own life,
Hard
basically.
love, fam.
And for me, it was almost like almost like a very young age. I was basically told, do what you want, but make sure that you are almost like what's the word? You are accountable for your decision.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I was always like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do it. I have to make it work. I have to make it work. I have to make it work. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm just so good at it. It was no. I have the talent, but I had to work like for a very, very long time before I could actually even start saying, you know what, give me £10 for that, or give me £20 for that. You know, even all through like the amount I got kicked off my course. You know, like it was. There were times I was like, you know what? But the thing is, it wasn't a thing of like, I'm pretty sure both of you can relate. You were good at other things.
Yeah.
Like probably even better at other things than design at some point.
That's why I pursued accounting and finance, because I did
Exactly.
A-level maths, fam. Like that's crazy.
Your man is sharp.
Bruh, like, but at the same time, I've seen how God has used that for my brain. Even like, I look at design very, very analytical. Like, I look at the details of design. I think that's why a lot of people describe my design like clean. Do you get it? But the cleanness comes from I like to look at things in the details, and I think that's why I love math so much. But at the same time, art and this creativity and design has always made sense to me, because, like you're saying, Jude, like, if I'm not using my hands, if I'm just like, okay, I need to be careful how I word this, but sometimes when I was in finance, like, I felt like I was a computer. Like, it was just like, do this process, do this, do that, then do this, then do that. Whereas creativity is like, ooh. Like, do you know what I mean? It's more of like, you can actually explore things. Whereas in finance, I didn't feel like I used my brain at all.
Yeah.
And
I see you.
I don't know how I could have lived my whole life, just not using my brain. And I think this is different for different people. Some people actually, they work in finance, but actually they use their brain so much because they love it. And I think when it comes down to ultimately, do what you love, do what you're naturally good at, because actually you're gonna actually be better. I think for me, I can see myself becoming one of the best in the world because I love what I do. All of us here, we don't do this because of money. We do this because we love it. The money just comes secondary to it. Do you get? And it's like,
Money's
the best people in the world, the people that are talented at it. Do you get? So like, I think ultimately, like, to my children, like, ultimately, what do you love? What do you love to do? And obviously, you have to use wisdom in it, not just any higgy hagga that you go and do. Do you get?
Yeah, of course.
But ultimately, like, I think we have to see the sort of the growings in people. Like, I'm pretty sure all of you sketched something when you're younger.
Definitely.
Or did something creative when you were younger.
Terrible.
You were terrible, you said.
Oh, it was terrible.
But I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did something when you're younger, and it's like,
Yeah.
I think we should start picking up these things in our children as well, fam.
No.
Like, we have children right now,
Yep,
but like
definitely.
in the future, like, legit.
That's big facts. I was just gonna say, because it was on the timeline recently about Kim's daughter, or Kim and Kanye's
no.
daughter,
Yeah.
and this whole like, and people were so surprised,
Bruh.
but I was like, why are people surprised? Like, I don't get it. Like, because this is not the first time that I think Kanye has talked about his daughter being like into the arts. Like, he's been doing this since like she was pretty much like an infant, like crawling. So I don't know why everyone's suddenly surprised that she's like taken an interest and actually did that. Everyone's like, it's just such an interesting, thing to see.
Because it's not the norm. I think that's what it kind of like comes back to a lot of the time, because it's not common for like a lot of people to be in that situation. They're like, you're like ass cap. Like, you're just looking for, social media clout.
Just looking for some clout.
Like, or how's this 7-year-old girl
like,
going to be able to point something like this? But
yeah,
it's funny because
we've seen so many kids do that.
that's the thing. Even like,
strange.
if I think about Nigeria, because I follow quite a few Nigerian artists.
Yes.
Like, the hyper realism scene there, mad. Like, young
Crazy,
people creating crazy stuff. And yeah, like, sometimes it can be a thing of, okay, if you've got the funds to support your child's creative endeavor, then you can, because the teacher that taught North how to paint that way, apparently she teaches quite a few like children like oil painting and stuff, and like, that's the picture that they all have to paint. But then sometimes I guess there's a side where there is that talent side, and then they practice and they're able to kind of come out with these amazing pieces of work. But yeah, I think it's because it's not the norm where like, oh, what do we really do with this information? But like you guys have said, it's something that should be encouraged, because if I think of like my childhood, there's so many like little nuggets that in hindsight I'm like, wow, it was there all this time, but it just either at times maybe it wasn't understood, or my mum didn't really know what to do with it at the time.
Cultivated,
Because like even my
wasn't
mum,
cultivated.
my mum's creative too. Like our family, when I deep it, my granddad like played like multiple instruments, my grandma sings, my mum is into like fashion and styling. So like growing up, every Sunday she's like sewing her own garments slash like coming out with like the
Yeah.
fit of this like for the day on the Sunday and stuff, and like she like buy and sell clothes. So yeah, there was like a lot of exploration there, but because maybe of the conventional thing of, oh well, to my mom, my grandparents would be like, oh, why don't you be a teacher? Why don't you have something that's a bit more structured that we're familiar with? That will make sense. But, now my mom's like, oh, like, she's still making clothes to this day in the middle of a pandemic, and she's not really got places to go, but it's there. And I think, it's so important to just pick out these things, because especially if we, like, as Christians too, we're like, okay, if we believe that we're formed of intention, then it's like those are the things that God's kind of put in there that need cultivating and stuff.
It has to be cultivated. I think that's the main thing. It has to be cultivated.
Yeah.
Without cultivation, it actually just dies off. And I think for me, what I do regret sometimes is like, I wish I took it a bit more seriously. I think the reason saying is because I remember when I was younger, the way I used to think about ideas was so different and so unique.
Freedom. You were just going so far with your brain.
Bro, like my brain extended so far. And it's like, because I've been working in finance.
You have to limit yourself.
Yeah, because I'm working in finance for like 2 years now, I almost feel like I'm trying to retrieve what I used to have.
Yeah.
Obviously, God will give that to me, but it's like, I feel like I've lost parts.
It's gone.
I feel like I lost parts of my brain, fam. And it's like, I need to come back, because when I used to dream and when I used to create, I used to create with no barriers, fam, no boundaries.
Yeah.
And it'll be the most craziest project or craziest idea, but it's like, no, I want to do that. Do you get like, you lot? How do you lot create? Like, what inspires you?
Oh boy.
It's a big question, but I think it'll be interesting for us to even find out. Like, I don't think we think about it sometimes.
What inspires me to create?
It's interesting because like we all kind of dabble in a lot of different things as well, like, or different mediums, or like, because design, there's something that will inform your design, but then if it's like your artwork or your music, might be something else. But I know for me, I think if I'm talking about like just general, like my own personal projects and stuff, it's probably more, I don't know, I have this like strong desire to like just share stories. I know it's like a buzzword that a lot of people kind of like say, but it's really that way of like connecting with people through the things that I create and trying to find ways to illustrate or represent something in a way that hasn't been done before, to give like maybe a fresh perspective or to get them to think about it in a certain way. It's, I guess, like human connection sounds, I guess, a bit deep, but like it's
key.
it's like, okay, how can sometimes if it's what I'm personally feeling, how can I get somebody else to really maybe like grab how I'm feeling, especially if I can't like express it, or if I'm seeing things around me, or I feel like sometimes we don't discuss certain things. How can I like put that out there to kind of like generate some kind of discussion, whether it be one-on-one or with like groups of people?
Yeah. Oh, I'm saying, like, I'm just thinking about now, because Burns, that question, especially as like designers, because most of the time I think we're in the business of serving others. So what happens a lot of the time is that we create for others, and we don't really have our own creative imprint, no pun intended, in there. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a thing where it's like you're creating for a purpose that is outside of yourself. So you just, as funny as it sounds, the whole idea of being the machine or being the computer and rendering an idea for something, that literally is how I feel sometimes. But then when I don't is when I get lost in it. And for me, this is half of the reason why I got kicked off the course. Like, I remember being on my fine art course, and like this was what 2000 and what 15, 16? No, probably no earlier, way earlier. This was 13, 14. And I used to just like me when I came to this country because I was an immigrant. And I wasn't really used to the whole. Obviously, I'm outside of London. I'm not really used to the London lifestyle. There's a lot more black population in London. Hertfordshire is a very secluded place when it comes to black people. So it was very interesting because it's like, okay, how do I try to find my identity in this new space? And I was using my art to express that, and they just it always rubbed them the wrong way every single time. Like I remember even going to an interview. I can say their name now. I went to the University of Hertfordshire. Obviously, that's where I am. I went to the University of Hertfordshire to apply for the design course at the time. And bear in mind, like this was like during when you're doing your what do you call that thing? When you write your
like UCAS.
statements and you send it in.
Yeah.
UCAS, perfect.
My goodness.
I was going through that whole process, and I went there, and I was excited. I was like, "This is home. Like it's right here." I already like knew so many of the black people who came from London to Hertfordshire to go to university. So I was like, "This is it, easy. This one I'm gonna get it, and I just need to think about the rest." I got there. This white guy with swooped hair, looking like a Justin Bieber who was like 50-year old, and he was just sitting there. He looked at my work, and he was flicking. And anytime he flicked, he looked at my face. And he would flick, and he look at my face. You flick, and you look at my face, and he goes, "Your work is very conceptual."
Oh.
And I was like,
what does he mean by that?
I
What
guess.
does he mean by that?
So it took me a second to deep it, but when I walked out of that interview and he said to me, "Yeah, I don't think that this university is the right one for you because your work is quite
What?
conceptual," I was like, "What does that mean?" Got home now, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
black, of course." You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yo.
it has to be that because there's the way he looked at me, and he flipped one, he looked at my face. I had a project that was to do about like how black people in the UK have to perform for white people
Interesting.
in minstrelsy.
Oh.
And he was kind of like, you could tell like he was like, okay, I probably should skip quicker because he was so uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah.
And like I feel like when I realized that, well, hold on, I need to be a graphic designer. I need to go away from that. So for a year or two, I started pushing away myself from the idea of like creating with a purpose. I just started creating for someone else's purpose. Like for example, like, you know, almost like a very
More
utilitarian
like a functional approach, right?
of like, yes, like this
serves
has to
this
do this
purpose,
and this has to do that. And if that's if this doesn't do this, then throw it out the window. It doesn't have a purpose, you know? And it took me a while. And then when I got to my third year of university, I realized, hold on a minute, I can do what the hell I want. Who's gonna stop me? Like, especially, I think it takes a while though, because for me, like, again, the only thing that was inspiring me to do any of these works was, I'll be very honest, rebellion. That was what was inspiring me for a very, very, very long time.
I mean, but what are you rebelling against though? What was the thing?
I think it's so many things. It's the system, how things are run, the unfairness of everything else.
Yeah.
So for me, like art in the beginning, well, not in the beginning, more so in the middle, was very, very political for me. It was never, I'm doing this for fun. Like nah, I'm doing this to make a point.
Yeah.
You know, like if I like, and you know the funny thing, that whole university thing. What happened is that after I didn't get it, there was a exhibition at the university, and they asked some of the students to come and show their work, and I decided to put the minstrel poster in the university.
That's funny.
Just as a point.
I saw that in the story. Yeah.
You know, just as the
Wow.
point. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this piece of work in that space so they understand. Like, no matter what you try to do to block me, I'm gonna find a way. You know,
That's funny,
but
man.
like that was my thing. My thing was like, you see the organization, break it down, try to understand what is going on. Like, okay, it's functional, cool, but what's the heart of the organization?
Yeah.
Like, what does the organization stand for? It can't just be to serve this purpose alone. And I think like I see human beings the same way. Like every human being is an organization in themselves. So it's like, yes, cool, you do this, you do this, you do that, cool. But what is the core of you? Like, what do you stand for? Because at the end of the day, that's how you can tell a person from a robot almost, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Bro, it's proper interesting, man. Proper interesting, like almost like the things that connected the dots to where we are today. And I think what makes it so exciting is of like where it can potentially go in the future. You know what I mean? I think like we all know, like there are so many other designers, especially from like black designers that
Yeah.
are literally killing it right now. And I think for me
Yep.
it's exciting. And I think what was hard for me growing up was that I never saw that.
Mm.
I never saw that. So obviously due to your experience of like seeing these things in Ghana and stuff, like I didn't see
Yeah.
that in the UK. In the UK it was like
I
if
hear that.
you're from a ethnic minority or whatnot, like where if you get a job you're even blessed. And so for
Yeah.
us to almost get these jobs is like you're mocking it. Are you actually taking the mick?
It hurts to hear that. It
Yeah.
always hurts to hear that. Yeah, I really like that. I always like. I honestly, I commend every black designer, but there is, I think there's, especially in the UK anyway, there's this culture of like, um, you're lucky to have even the crumbs,
Which is
or,
so
wow,
bad.
a whole big company let you
So
in.
bad.
But it always links back to the same thing that every designer talks about: imposter syndrome.
No, it's
Yep.
it's true. It's almost like you've had to overcome so much. Just I don't know. It's like you had to overcome a lot, but then also it's like sometimes we will then see ourselves as less than, which is mad because
Yep.
a lot of the time you find out on par or even better.
Yo,
like better,
oh, even
like
better.
even better. It's so crazy. I remember like going to certain portfolio reviews, and like this was after uni around like 2017, and I was like, cool, let me just find out how I can like get some, feedback about my work, what to do, what not to do, how to make a portfolio. And I'll never forget, like,
I had one of those that for a certain company. I won't mention them.
You can mention them.
hey,
No, I won't.
God
will
bless them. I'm at the
Jesus.
Guardian.
But like, I remember going to this one thing called the Big Book Crit. So if anyone's looking for portfolio reviews, obviously it's COVID, but the Big Book Crit. So I remember going, having like conversations with people and stuff, and we did it in groups. And I remember I was in this one group, and one designer I think was looking at one of my intros that I made for if you guys know Mo, so for like Mo's channel, but the segment hadn't dropped yet at the time, and he was like, "Oh, like
That's where we met.
no facts." No, oh my god, just remembered. Yeah, he was like, "Oh wow, the kerning here, like, wow, this is really great use of kerning, which is like the space between letters and stuff." And I was just there, like, I was looking at him like, "Are you being serious? Like, what?"
That was what he was impressed by.
That was, and he was like, "Oh yeah, because everyone else, like, that's one thing I like to notice, just playing around with kerning and spacing and all this stuff." And I was like, "What?" I was like,
respect it.
"What?" But then I was like the only person in that room that wasn't a graduate. So I was like, "Oh, like, oh my gosh, maybe like they're a lot better than me."
What the
blah,
hell
blah,
are they
blah.
teaching
No
you
facts. That's
before
what I was
you-
thinking. I was like, "So what?
Yeah.
You guys go to study this, and you guys don't know about this?" And I think that helped me to realize that, okay, even though you may not have gone down the more, traditional route with this,
traditional
okay, I'm just as good.
Yep.
But it's constantly unlearning that, especially when you get into certain spaces. If you do get certain roles and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm finally here," you have to remind yourself, like,
Yeah.
cool, like, I'm actually worthy and I'm good for the job. I'm the right person for the job. But it's mad, especially when we live in the UK where we're the minority and there's certain things that are like put on us, or expectations or lack of expectation. So yeah, it's weird.
We need to break them chains, man, because it just is. It's so heavy for no reason. There is no reason why we should like honestly, we see all these black creatives, black creative houses, agencies that are doing like madness. But the thing is, I always say this, and I know maybe I might just be that person who's always trying to rebel against things, but it's like these agencies are doing amazing things. I remember like for the short time that I was at Warner's and working like in that commissioner role and seeing people when they come in and they're black and their invoices, and then seeing white people when they come in and Asian people when they come in, and you can see the massive gap. And this has nothing to do with like the company like Warner or anybody, because they just say, "What's the price, of your service?" And like some people are lucky to have an understanding of how to kind of say, "Okay, cool, I know my worth straight away."
Yeah.
And I know that I can charge them this much. But for a lot of people, they don't. And more likely than not, they tend to be black. And it hurts a lot because when they come in and they put like, "Oh, yeah, I'll design your artwork, £50." £50?
I'm getting
What?
triggered, dude.
Triggered.
And
But I
like
think- I
honestly,
think
like
even before you go
I've
on,
had to
yeah.
learn it. So I was like, what?
I think even before you go on, yeah, I think this is a good point to even, I guess, speak about why we charge what we charge. Because I think there is a gap of knowledge where it's like people feel like we charge extortionate prices, and they're actually not extortionate. We like
They're definitely not extortionate.
Most times we're probably underselling
They're definitely
ourselves as well.
extortionate.
we are underselling.
Definitely
ourselves every
underselling
single-
ourselves.
And
Especially when you start.
the funny
my
thing
God.
about that £50, that £50 for that little sort of cover, like break that down. If that took that person 10 hours, how much did they now make?
Fam,
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
respectful. Trying to tell me what? 5. Even
Bruh.
fam, that's not even minimum wage.
That's £5 per hour.
That's not even minimum wage.
£5 per hour.
Like deep it. It's not even minimum wage. And you want me to be spending my time on
What's
the
it?
computer with my eyes, veins, blood popping, kum 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 kum, to be looking at a screen for 10 hours to design a cover for you to come and say, I just give you
And
50.
that might even,
can you
guys,
do
that's probably
45?
going to be for draft, like first draft. That's not even revisions or
First
feedback
draft.
or anything like that.
Ah, no, don't even get me
Oh,
started.
Lord.
You know what? Yeah, let's not. I don't even want to do the ranting, here, but like I just genuinely I feel like people need to. And honestly, I don't know when this is gonna happen. There probably are a lot, but most of them, a lot of black designers especially, don't get to know them about like unions and art
yes.
spaces that help others with understanding what to price people. Because the thing is this: if as a community we all decide a cover is never less than £50, it should always be at least starting from 100.
Yeah,
Guess what? Everybody would pay 100.
yeah.
So the thing is, it's one of those things where we decide what value we place on the art,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting to see the shifts in the last 10 years of how important. Like me, when I remember when I started, like people were mocking me, "Oh, what are you gonna do? Design kebab flyers?" Ha, 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 ha. Do you get what I'm saying?
Say kebab flyers.
Like that was the joke. Kebab flyers. You know what I'm saying? That was the joke. It was like, oh
Wow.
yeah, you're gonna go to uni and go and study just to go and design kebab flyers. You know? So it's a thing where it's like this is what people used to see design as. But guess what?
Oh,
now,
no.
especially in COVID as
In
well,
our bags. Oh my gosh.
everybody needs a designer.
What
this
a
is
time.
like this year.
What a
Even
time to be
even
creative.
Canva came, fam. Canva came, didn't work out. Fiverr came.
It will not work
Like
out.
the thing is, like
cannot drown us out.
you can't drown a designer
we
out.
here, baby. We here to stay. Because
You know what I'm
really
saying?
and truly, yeah, look around your room right now. I promise you, everywhere you look, there'll be a design.
Everywhere.
Even from
Everywhere.
this simple apple juice I've got here,
Everywhere.
yeah, there's a design.
Everywhere.
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 You can't get rid of us,
You know?
baby.
Another thing, a lot of people are not understanding that that's like you are amazing in what you're doing. Like a lot of people can't do what you're doing.
yep,
A lot of people don't have that patience, don't have the skill, don't have the resolve to sit down and say, I'm gonna actually sit down and study bloody After Effects. After
My
Effects.
goodness.
You know how hard that is, fam. Photoshop. Like Michael know this. I had to Photoshop a man's shoes.
Don't finish me.
I don't finish me, bro. Don't finish me,
Deep
bro.
it.
That's
How
a
people
man's
do that?
shoes.
No, that was
You know what I'm
a
saying?
mad
Like what we perform is borderline magic.
facts.
Every single time we wake up in the morning, we go on the computer and we're
We're
performing
creating,
magic.
creating something out of nothing. Okay, obviously
Yes,
there might be some
alchemy, fam.
input, but it's like verbal input to something visual.
Hey, yo, make it amazing. I want it to look like big and strong. That's the input we get, and then we create magic out of that. So for me personally, I always tell people, like especially black designers, because I know like in different communities they have their own systems, but in our communities, like always, if you don't know what, like me, I've done it so many times. If someone gives me a job, I can't understand how to price them, I ask a friend. I go and ask someone I ask a manager, I ask someone who is anybody who might have an idea. Like I've had friends send me invoices of other white designers or other Asian designers just to have a look and see this is what they're charging. In case someone comes to you, this is how you should charge. And I've been shocked. Like from someone like for just a visualizer. Yeah. Just a visualizer. I was going like, oh yeah, this is 50, 100.
No, never.
No. Like what? Add another zero. And that's the thing. I always tell like the designers who come to me sometimes and be like, oh, like, because sometimes I won't be designing. Sometimes I might just be commissioning.
Yeah.
And when I am, I always say, do you know what to charge? They'll be like, oh yeah, it's fine. I'll be like, oh. If you know your price, that's fine. If you don't, ask. There's no harm in doing that. You know,
Yeah.
there's
And
no
I think,
harm.
I think ultimately we need to understand that art design is an investment. Is it? Why do you think some people pay so much for art, a piece of art? It's an investment.
Facts.
Do you get me? And is that ultimately, if like for anyone listening right now, if you're, for example, a business owner and you're a bit unsure whether to spend on a certain design or spend on a certain branding or whatever, I'll just say this: like that is a pillar of what you're going to do. Your visual aesthetics of your company is a pillar to what you're going to do. I promise you this: if your graphics do not look good, you're going to decrease how many people come to you.
Especially now.
Guaranteed.
Especially now.
Guaranteed.
Especially now.
Like think about
Especially
how
now.
many people you're competing with in your industry, in your marketplace, and you need something to stand out. And one thing I'll say, even if it's quite a lot, save for it. We need to understand what it means to do long-term investment. Save
Invest.
Save.
Yes.
and invest.
Stop doing favors.
Yeah.
Everyday favor.
Like it would not, like, please invest in what you do. And the thing is, what's so funny is that anyone I've seen invest, they've gone very far. Very far.
Yep.
And like one thing we need to understand in our community, the idea of collaboration. We have to take it
Yes.
serious.
Boy.
Burns. Yes.
Pastor Burns is sharing the word.
Collaboration.
Yo.
Urgh.
Otherwise, we're not going far, man. We're not going far. Like imagine us three, for example, said, "Hey, we're gonna start our own podcast. talking about art design
Everybody
and
do their
culture."
own.
Do you know what I mean?
Everybody
Like,
go and do their own.
how poor that would be. Do you get? But there's power in us three speaking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? In the same way that collaborating with people will take you further, man. We can't be doing these things on our own. We're not self-made. I want to get rid of that term.
Yeah.
No one's self-made. You're not
Lyricals.
self-made. Do you get? So work with people. Work
Burns,
with
you're
people.
not Burns. Jude, you're annoying.
Definitely. No, you're right. No, you're right though. I think that collaboration is definitely key. Like I was gonna say as well, like I think what I've realized is that a lot of, I think I can only speak on the black community because I don't really know what goes on in others. But I say this, like a lot of people who come up to me are always very, and I get it. Like a lot of us are jaded in the industry that we're in because we've been done wrong by so many people. Like the amount of people who've run away with my money, never again. You know what I'm saying? The amount of people, the amount of invoices that are dusty, never again. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like I feel like most people have been jaded by some type of action from someone in the community. So we're always very cautious when we approach design and when we approach other designers, because it's like you go and talk about an idea to another designer and then suddenly 2 weeks later they're doing the same project.
Or even
You're
in our
mad
community,
confused.
I feel like in our
Hold on a minute.
community in general, I guess there's this whole thing of like, especially, I don't know why in the UK, it's like, don't trust anyone, or we can just do it on our own. Like we don't need to, lean on anybody.
Work together.
I'm not gonna lie, I had that like kind of
Hashtag self-made.
mentality, not because I was offended by anyone or upset, but just like, let me I can do it all. I can figure it out. But not gonna lie, it gets long, you get tired, and you realize you're not Superman. You're human. You're really human. You can't do it all. And there's so many people that you can go to for resources or for help. Why try and struggle learning to go so far on your ones where you're gonna burn out, where you're gonna get stressed? Learning a lot on your own is not fun at times. Most times it's exhausting. You could really just go save yourself a year, 5 years, couple hours if you just went to someone and said, hey, could you give me some tips on this, please? I'm not really sure how to go about it.
Just have to let that pride go
Bro,
and just be like, you know what? And I think that's the thing, as a designer anyway, that's one of the most important things, because I think all the people that I know, that I admire anyway, are people who love to listen, they love to watch, they love to take in, they love to collaborate. So it's one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, yeah, the glory will go to who the glory is going to. Doesn't matter. Like, especially me working with artists, whatever I design, it doesn't matter. The artist is always going to be the most important thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's just about doing the best you can to serve that environment and make sure that you're putting your best self forward every single time. Because at the end of the day, that glory might never come to you, But if you did the best thing you can, someone will ask.
Yeah.
The producer will be like, "That's an amazing video. Who did that?
What
Let
do
me
you-
find
what
the
do you not
director.
even think
Let me
about
find
this,
the person who graded."
I remember back in the day, I always used to put like my logo on like my designs, and I think I kind of snapped out.
What
of that.
watermark?
Yeah, you know that watermark thing. I kind of snapped out of it because like, actually nah. People will ask you where it came from. This is no one else can do it like me. Do you know what I mean?
That's a tricky
Like,
one.
no one else can do it like me. And I think I don't know. It's an interesting one, but like, I've come to realize that look, if you want to do any nonsense with our work,
Oh yeah,
You
they'll find a
can
way.
really crop your logo.
go and do it. Go and do it. I dare you to do it. God will find you.
I'm
But
screaming.
isn't there?
Hey.
Said I will cuss you all here today.
It's all right, Burns. Throwing God in your threats.
God will
Is that what
deal
we're
with
doing
you.
now?
God will deal with you. Because it's them ones where it's like, fam, I don't even care no more, man. I'll create my thing if you copy. It is what it is, but it means that you're not original and you'll
Yeah.
eventually burn out. Do you get it? So for example,
Yep.
when people like talk about like sharing business ideas and stuff, yeah, they're always that's the thing that we protect things in our culture because we're scared about someone seeing the idea.
Someone
But one
taking
thing-
it. Yep.
One thing I've always been told is that, yo, they can take it, but if you don't execute it well,
Facts.
what then?
The originals will always last.
The originals will
The
always
originals
last.
will always last.
Can't get rid of the
You know,
originals, man.
no matter how much the new one is selling and whatever, the originals will always
temporary, innit?
last. You know,
Always, bro.
it's just about, again, it's being true to yourself. At the end of the day, you don't want to do something you're not happy with.
Yeah.
So again, I totally understand if people feel like they can't go around telling people about their 5-year plans and 10-year plans. No one's
Not
saying
everybody
do
you
that.
go to.
But if
not
of
everybody
course,
you go
exactly.
to.
I'm not gonna go to auntie and tell her about this so she can tell me that I'm a failure and
Or that
you
they
know,
had
I
a
should go and
dream.
face my books. No. Yeah, a dream that don't go outside. This. Yeah, no, none of that. But I think it's just about like understanding that if you feel like someone is going to add to that project or add to that idea, or the advice might be the thing that helps, or you want someone to participate in something you're doing, ask.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
And if you don't get, you cry.
I'm done.
You know, that's how it works. It's like, oh yeah, you want to execute this great idea. Oh, I really wish I could ask for a photographer, ask for a designer. Oh, but I don't have money. Cool, ask.
Actually true.
If they say they won't do it,
At
then
least
you
you know.
ask.
Yeah. At least you ask. Yeah.
You know. But then going off that assumption, I think a lot of black people do that, where it's like, oh, these people, if I tell them my idea, they're gonna laugh anyway, or they're gonna plot me behind my back. They're gonna tell so and so and so. Oh yeah, they're gonna take my. It's like,
No
Come on,
one,
man.
no one's got that energy, bro. Like, I feel like we think too much of ourselves, you know. Trust me, no one cares.
oh yeah,
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna really. Oh, do you know what I mean? Like, let's humble ourselves and let's, you know,
let's all put it.
let's humble ourselves, you know.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's
Bruh.
take it down. Take it down.
Bruh. But even
No,
like,
it makes sense.
segueing out of this, I think one thing I definitely want to talk about is just our culture as a whole. So obviously, recording this one, this happened I think it's happened 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. But the Gorilla Glue girl from America.
What a segue.
I can't it's a wild segue.
Mad.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Fam,
okay.
this segue, yeah, it's like jumping off a plane. Fam. It's just like jumping off a plane.
Oh, your parachute's broken as well.
Ben said, anyway, no parachute, straight to the ocean.
But like, yeah, man. You know what I found so interesting was the power of social media, man. Yo,
No. Let me check how many followers this woman has
Scary.
now. Because I swear it's close to 1 million.
I think it's almost a
Yo.
mil, you know. Yep, almost a
to
mil.
a mil,
Oh, I think it's like 800K.
It's mad.
I'm not bugging.
bruh.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean,
It's scary, but it's also a blessing at the same time. If the right people get the shine,
Mm.
then you know what I mean. Because I think the reason why I speak about this, I think from like a old school culture. I remember back in the day, secondary school, we
Yeah.
had people like T-Boy, Don't Jealous Me, A Dot, all
Yes,
these different man
yeah.
and stuff. And it's like I really wish. Well, T-Boy has got his shine now, but I wish someone like A Dot got his shine. Do you get like
yeah.
with the midst of like social media and stuff? Like I feel like sometimes not like the wrong people get the shine. It is weird. Why does that happen? Do you like only foolery goes up and blows up?
People like foolery though.
Mm.
That's the thing. Like we say this, but we all contribute to it some way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely shared
when
it.
I see foolery, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like if I see foolery, I like okay, this is because the thing is everybody wants to kind of like not everybody. Look, if everybody could be Poku Banks, everybody would be Poku Banks.
For
But
context,
not everybody
who's
can be
Poku
Poku
Banks.
Banks.
Who's that? For context.
Poku Banks, baby. You know, if you don't know Poku Banks, then
Banks,
you don't know.
baby.
It's fine. You know. But this is the thing. It's like if everybody could be that person who has got like obviously Poku Banks is a joke. I don't know about him. I don't know who he is, whatever. But I'm saying like if everybody could have that thing where it's like I don't laugh or business, Jay-Z Twitter, straight to it, stocks, finance, crypto, every single day.
I will be
It'd
tired.
be a scary place to live. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
every day you need a bit of the foolery to come through and lighten up. Because fam, look at this lockdown. Look how depressing
Really,
it is. Fam.
in the middle of a pandemic, not gonna lie, needed a laugh.
We need this every single other day. And there's a lot of it. I can't lie. There's a lot of it. But I think in terms of like the people blowing, I always say this anyway. Like 5 P's. And I heard this in a Kendrick Lamar song, and I've never let it go. GLC said it. Private preparation prevents poor performance. So, if you prepare yourself in private, when the moment comes and the opportunity comes, you're ready. And I don't know who, like the A-Dots and whoever, I don't know if they were prepared or not. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you always have to be prepared. The opportunity could just come at any time. And if you're not prepared, you can't take advantage of it, especially in social media age now. It's scary because it's like tomorrow, all of a sudden, your work will go viral. And if you're not prepared,
No,
what
facts.
happens then?
Like, if you think about two
gone.
people, like one, the doctor that actually took care of like Tessica Brown's hair, he came up.
Shout out to the Ghanaians.
Not for real,
Ghanaians,
for
come
real.
on.
Because came up with what his own solvent to like, I think dissolve the Gorilla Glue out of her hair. And he's a black man, so obviously he's gonna take more care and attention because he knows what black hair is like and stuff too. So he came like opportunity, preparation, boom, made something happen.
Perfect
But then you
timing,
see
there you
other
go.
examples, for example, where maybe it doesn't go so well in terms of like viral moments. The Peaches, the woman behind Fleek, the term Fleek, right? So she didn't even know that that was going to go viral. And she just made a video. Now, the amount of brands that are using Fleek here, there, and everywhere for years, putting on T-shirts, putting on clothes, part of their social media marketing material,
Music,
everywhere,
everything.
and she didn't get a dime. But you know, you really do have to be prepared. Like for example, third person, Honda guy, I can't remember his name, where the money resides. My guy got a lawyer, trademarked the thing.
Quickly.
I think he might have had a Super Bowl ad as well, possibly, because I know that's just gone.
Yeah, I think he even had. He's been having a lot of ads. To be fair,
Like,
you're right.
he prepared. Said, I'm not gonna miss the bag.
Prepared.
I know I'm a great car salesman. I think he was even selling cars afterwards and had the people that he sold cars to featured. So like, you really do have to be prepared. Like, even though yes, it may seem annoying that like some social media people just they blow, especially when there's like hardworking people
Out of nowhere.
like who grinding for years. But you just have to keep like you said, just prepare that moment by God's grace will come, even if it doesn't. Like, you don't necessarily need to have like a viral moment in order to be successful too.
I was even asking. I was gonna ask that actually. Like, with that, like, I think what I really love and what I just, for me, I don't care about fame. Fame is not. I think fame is very useless. If you get, nah, man, fame is useless. Like,
Jude?
fame and money. Like, people always ask this question. Like,
Yeah.
would you rather have fame or money? And if someone asks me that question, I always say money. Why would I want to have fame?
Okay, but question is how much money and how much fame? If they say, "Oh, would you rather have money? What, £10 over fame?" I thank you. I'll take the fame.
I wouldn't take the fame.
So you have to be specific. Really?
Okay, when you say fame, what's going on in your head? When I say fame, what's like? What do
So
you see
I think
right now?
it's about fame. I think of reach. I think of impact. I think of as weird as this word or as misused as this word is, cult following.
I fully hear you on
You
that,
know?
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
My God.
And I think for me, that's kind of what I always take that in mind. It's like, okay, because at the end of the day, every single brand that we know of anyway, that we adore, have a cult following. In fact, here's the perfect example that we always bring up. Apple.
Bondage. Chained.
That's fam, that's bondage. Quan. When you hear that quan coming out when you put the laptop on, you know, you know what time it is, fam. You know, so it's like we have these associations, even sometimes so to the point where the marketing is so embedded in our brains that we can't help ourselves. It becomes like we have to. We feel bad. Sheeps to the slaughter. Every single time,
Apple
every
conference,
year, September,
Apple
every year, September,
conference,
you want.
I'm there. I'll even be doing live tweeting as well. Oh my god!
Fam, people will queue up in the rain, snow, shine, everything in this just to get a new iPad or iPhone or pencil or headphone or whatever it is.
Burns with his pencil.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm so done. My burns. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where it's like, I feel like people underestimate the value of what I think of anyway as fame. I don't think fame is necessarily just being popular for the sake of being popular.
There's ways that you can.
But I think with that,
it has to be popular for a reason.
You're right with that context, but I think it comes with negatives as well.
Yep.
Do you get? And
Everything comes with negative. Money comes with negative. Tax. That's negative.
No, you're right. I know. I definitely hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying.
That's funny.
No, I find it interesting, man. I find it interesting because, like, I know for a fact there's like when it comes to like the music scene, for example, the different people that I listen to, for example, like I'm happy they're not crazy famous. It feels nice being a part of a niche community. If you know what I mean.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people like you guys are
You're
bad
just
vibes.
greedy, man. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like you don't want to put people on.
I share.
Nah, you're the worst.
Trust me, I share.
Burns, you're the worst.
No. I share.
I listen to him
But I
first.
think for me,
But you don't want them to blow. Listen to what you're saying, Burns. You don't want them to blow.
No.
You don't want your artists to blow. That's what you're saying.
This agenda must stop
Wow.
now. This agenda must stop
but
now.
I can't believe this. This is what you. So this is what it comes to. You don't want people to
It's
blow.
my little secret.
Nah, man. It's not even
My
that.
little secret.
Okay,
That's his
blow
who's
me,
smile.
like, worldwide.
Smile
What
is
does
a
that mean?
secret. No one's gonna know about him. It's all mine. So like, all right.
Oh god.
Nah, you guys are.
Nah,
forget
Burns,
it.
you're greedy. That's bad mind.
Agenda. Wow.
Explain. I want to hear. And I want to hear it. Go on.
The reason why I say this, I won't even mention artist names in it, just in case they listen to this.
Nah, mention.
Alright. Okay. Who can I use as an example?
Yeah, who can you use? I wonder.
Okay. Actually, no, I'll use this example. This one examples come. Someone like Ed Sheeran, he's not one of my favorite artists, but I like his music here. I personally, like, I hear that he needs to go on breaks, but this fame has now had to make him go on these breaks for like 2-3 years. When I really love his music. And I think for me, that's why I say niche. The niche things is actually you're able to be more in touch with the community, but you're still at a level that you're still making good income. I want them to make income. I want them to really do well in life. But I think
But not too
what
much.
I get scared of No. No. Make
Yeah,
as much money
blow,
you
but
need to
not
in life,
too-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, but I don't want you to lose that essence. Because sometimes when you get that
Right.
fame,
Okay. Yeah.
you lose
Yeah,
something.
some people
you lose
move
something.
mad.
And that's why I say the niche part. There's people like someone like Tom Misch that I really like to listen to. He's massive. He's still big. But
Yeah.
if you know him, you know him. And you enjoy his music. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I was gonna say
That's
like,
perspective on it,
would you say something like? Because when you said that, I immediately thought of D'Angelo. And not to say like,
Yeah.
like a niche, like obviously within like neo soul, that R&B space, like people knew of him, but it's like when the fame came after that Untitled video,
Missing.
he said, okay, when a big, I think things might have even happened, but like he kind of ghosted for a bit because there was a lot to be then seen as like a sex symbol, as well as having all of these eyes on you, and it kind of stopped him anyway, maybe from just focusing on the music.
That's interesting. I mean, because the thing is, especially with D'Angelo, I think that was a decision that he made outside of the fame. I just feel like I agree with you. I see what you're saying with the whole fame thing, but I'm just thinking like some people can handle it and some people can't.
Yeah, some people can.
It's not for everyone.
Someone
It's
like-
not for
Like,
everyone.
don't get me wrong.
Let's put someone
Like
like Stormzy,
D'Angelo.
Stormzy, for example, like I think for me that's the greatest example for it. I think look at him like from like his Wicked Skangman days, like when he's releasing those YouTube videos and doing those like he was spitting in the park and that. And look at him now, where he's had to ghost. Like,
This is true. He even had to
social
leave.
media.
He had to go.
He had to leave it. Like, and I think I'm so happy for Stormzy's success and stuff, but the pressure that he puts on your head is immense.
But we say this. I totally understand. It looks like that anyway, and
Yeah.
it probably is like that. But my,
Yeah.
my point is, everybody who is in that space knows that is a possibility.
Facts. Yeah.
No, do you know? I don't know.
I thought no,
don't think
I
they
feel like
know.
especially now
Everybody in
people
that
know like
space.
cool, this is almost like a piece of what comes with it.
Exactly.
I think
Like,
one of them things you don't know it until you experience it. You may be aware of it, but you won't know
course,
the
of
magnitude of it until you're in it. And I think that's.
I hear what you're saying,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is that, for example, the Stormzy situation, Stormzy had the choice to sign to a label. Stormzy had a choice to partner with Adidas. Stormzy had all these opportunities. He said yes to most, if not all of them.
Yeah.
He was slowly but surely progressing his career with every decision that he made. Same with D'Angelo. He made the decision to be in the video half naked. He knows he did. No one forced him.
I'm done.
Why you say that?
You see what I'm saying? And I totally understand that maybe in
but
hindsight he's like, damn it, I
it's
shouldn't have
true
done that.
though. It's true.
Like, oh no, all these ladies love me too much. What a shame. You know, that's fine. I get it. If that's how he felt, if that's how he felt, I can never feel that feeling because I wasn't the person who's in that video. I get it. But guess what? D'Angelo came back 10 years later, if not a bit more, and he dropped one of the most prolific projects and still got his claim. Do you get what I'm saying? So even though he tried, he could have come back and that album could have flopped. There's so many artists who got too famous, hid away, came back and flopped. But greatness can't be hidden. It's a light. You can't. There's nothing you can do to hide it.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle, another
I was
perfect
gonna say Lauryn
example.
Hill.
There is no way you can hide it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm saying, if you're great, you're great. No matter
think
what
so?
you do, you're going to shine. Yes, look, it's unfortunate.
'cause-
That's how it is. But the thing is this. But don't get me wrong. People will take advantage of you on the way up. That's inevitable. Because people are people. People. That's how people are. But guess what? You're still gonna shine.
I'm gonna shine when I'm a shine.
I'm gonna shine when I'm gonna shine. Arise and shine and
The
give
glory,
God the
glory.
glory. Praise the living God. You know,
I'm a
I
star.
must shine. I'm a star. I must shine. So if you're a star, I don't think there's any way you can hide that. Like that, I'm saying Stormzy is a perfect example, like you were saying. But I feel like there's no way you could have hidden that shine because he's gonna shine. He's gonna shine.
I'm a shine. I'm a shine.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that.
I was gonna use the example of Lauryn Hill, but I guess like he is a
Nah,
factor.
that one's a sad one for me,
at
man.
the same.
But really,
That's
truly,
kind of sad.
would she?
I'm
And she. You think there's pressure there though? Because that
Oh,
album was
definitely.
Oh yeah.
crazy.
Especially when you're 20 years.
Me personally, I don't think that album is like it's the greatest thing in the world.
20
personally.
years.
It's not the greatest thing in the world, but is a very legendary album. Like
Again,
it's-
me personally, I don't like. I love the album
yeah.
to bits, but I prefer 1,000 more over. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like it's one of those things where absence makes the heart grow fonder type effects.
That and
Yeah,
the like whole anonymity / it's been this long nostalgia mixed with the work as well.
Yeah.
I hear that.
And that
The
that
Stars
rule
of
works
Grace
everywhere, doesn't it?
a massive role in that album, man. Because that album just reminds me of like, obviously we were all born in the 90s, but I wasn't really living in the 90s, if that makes sense. But like,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
reminds me of good times. Like, I don't know why, but we always associate good times to like the days when we didn't have like all these different devices. Did you get it? We just had to play around
Fair
with our
enough. That's
pens and papers and you get it? Like, they always give me that good times and happy
Pens and
memories
papers,
of
you
just
know.
like
Wow.
purity,
Oh,
pure
you
music,
take me
pure
back
art.
to pens and papers.
Take me back, baby. But you know.
It won't. I hear what you're saying. So wait,
Yeah.
you're basically saying that Lauryn Hill and so on and so forth remind you of that time where
Yeah, good
everything
times,
was
man.
less digital and no
Yeah.
social media. You actually could go out and
real,
talk to
real
your friends.
art,
Blah, blah,
real
blah.
art. Do you get it? Like I'm
Real
sure,
art.
I'm sure someone.
And
No. Let me put it like this. It's something that people digested back in them days. I feel like today
Yeah.
people like everyone still makes art, but people don't appreciate the art.
Oh, don't get me started on this
That's
because
what I'm trying to say.
this topic really grinds.
no.
my blood
Let's
to
get you
gears.
started, Michael. Let's get you
Because
started. Go on.
I feel
You
like
started.
with streaming and to be fair, all of these services work to our like favor, like Deep It, Spotify, pay Or me, I'm
they
well,
don't.
me, I'm on family plan. I pay £3 to listen to everything, so I don't mind.
Oh no, I'm talking about. Oh wait, you're talking about the individual
as in
taking it in.
us
or
as
the,
individuals, as the
Oh,
consumers,
sorry, go
we're
ahead.
in a very good. We're getting
Yeah.
the better side of the deal because for this low amount, we're able to get X amount of shows, X amount of films, pretty much any song, most songs actually that are out there. But obviously, it doesn't work in the favor of the artist. So I guess it's created this culture where, not I guess, it has created this culture where we almost just eat it all and we don't really take in the work properly.
Consider.
And
Yep.
yeah, like you said, like consider it. It's so true because there's certain projects that I'm just like, or certain things I see, and I'm just like, guys, did we really even listen or take in what the artist actually intended for this project? And I guess it's only when like Beyonce would drop the Lemonade or certain projects like that's when people be like, oh my gosh, wow, artistry. But then there's other people. This is completely different, but
Planes in the sky, fam.
Solange,
Praise
a
the
seat
guy.
at the table. But when it came to When I Get Home, it was like, oh, this isn't a seat at the table part 2. So what kind of nonsense is this? You're just basically humming and you're repeating the same lines. There's like people are critiquing it that way. But if you think about but then people want to talk about meditation, but then you're crying about somebody basically meditating on the track. I don't know. No,
Damn,
people.
what?
No, it's
What,
people
Michael?
that, like meditation's important, mindfulness, all of these things. But then there's
Yeah.
literally a track that embodies that. But there's no. I don't. For me, I got annoyed because it didn't seem like people got that connection. But then you're living, you're working
Yeah.
out that practice.
Why do people listen to music these days? Why do you reckon?
People don't listen
Yes.
to music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
And it's a tricky thing because it's like it's a saturated market, and is the like Michael was saying, it's a very good time for people who are taking in music because if you like rock and you like hip hop, you can find something that's rock and hip hop. If you like jazz and heavy metal, you could probably find some jazz and heavy metal. In fact, I think I have an album on that. So there is everything you want to find, you can find, but that's the problem because there was a time where music was like
Rare. It was rare to get certain things.
it was almost like, okay, if you're from London, there was some albums you can only get if you're in London.
Bro.
If you are from Liverpool, there's some albums you
Yep.
can only get in Liverpool, and in order for you to get that, someone has to travel to Liverpool, get the CDs or cassettes or MP3 player or whatever, and bring it back in order to find it. So obviously there's a massive globalization, which is amazing.
It's beautiful.
But I
it's
think
beautiful.
it's beautiful, yeah. But on the flip side, like Michael was saying, like the artists are getting pennies for the work that they're doing now. And like me personally, like as someone who has music on streaming platforms, like I always have this thought, like I've thought about it for so long. I'm just kind of like, why?
Why what?
Like, why should this be here? Like why the only reason I put it on streaming platforms is for the accessibility. But then I realized, hold on a minute. Like we were talking about earlier about this whole cult following thing. People who love your work will buy your work.
Yeah.
Now, if people don't like your work, they will listen to your work and go away. That's the problem. So
Actually,
now
you have a good
what we've
point
had
there.
is this massive conundrum.
That's a good point there.
Where it's like a lot of people are listening to music, but they don't know the artist.
Yeah.
They don't like the artist. They don't like nothing about the artist. So people will come and say, Solange's music, I don't get it. But yeah, you're not gonna get it
Chewing
because you
gum
don't know who the
opinions.
person is. You know what I'm saying? You hear it, it makes you feel something, but you don't actually like you don't there's no continuum of like, I see where she went from this to this. I see why this is this. I know who that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say now we know the artist more because we see social media. Me personally, I don't feel like that.
No.
That's
know.
a fa-
I personally feel like we know
That's probably
less
what
of the
strategy
artist
and facade that they have with their teams. Oh yeah, you should post this because people being in
TikTok.
certain meetings, they're like, oh yeah, so we can see that this is what kind of gains traction. So we need to do more of this. Like, but the artists themselves may not actually want to do those things.
More time they don't.
Do you know what that reminds me? When I was younger, like secondary school time, I used to listen to Angel. You lot definitely
Yeah.
Angel UK. Like he, for me, is one of the best R&B artists in the UK, if not top up there in the world. And I think he got slept on so, and it's a wild statement. I'll be honest.
He didn't get slept on, man. Nah, don't do that, Burns. He didn't get slept on. He had his chance. No, let's not do that.
I personally don't think Angel got his shine, fam.
That's his own.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. That's his own. Look. This is my thing. You can't say someone failed someone. No, I didn't fail him. He didn't press me enough, so therefore I didn't support him. That has nothing to do with me failing him. He
Okay.
didn't come and say, "Jude, I need your support." And I said no.
The reason why I mentioned him, I think is because of the music.
Yeah.
When he released music, I actually like there was this, I think it was called something like 5 o'clock or something, or 7 o'clock or something like that. Yeah, seven after something. I don't know. And I think
A whole fan, a whole fan. You're meant to be a fan.
relax. I said back in the day, this guy, agenda. You have agenda. Alright. I think for me, just hearing like him growing up in like West London and stuff, for me connected directly to him. In the same way, someone
Right.
who's an artist that I really, really like.
Wait, I'm just deep in. Burns really said Angel is the best R&B.
If that's
what
what he
he
feels,
I
that's
didn't
what
say
he
that.
feels.
I said top.
Yeah.
When you replay this, you'll hear I said could be one of the top in the world for R&B.
Wait, so who is up there?
I'm not gonna lie. This is
understand this.
You are your
You've got to
best.
be careful.
You are your
Get-
best
You've
R&B
got to be
artist.
careful here. You've really got to be careful. Oh God, like
You're the best
living
R&B
and
artist.
living and
Wait, hold
dead.
on. Are we talking about
Hey,
dead or
God.
alive? Because
Wait,
I
no,
can't lie,
living
he
and
wouldn't-
living and dead.
Or both.
No, okay. Let me put this in context. I mean, at the time,
Okay.
because right now he's not really making.
Is this
I mean,
is
at
this in the
time for me-
UK like alone? Not including other.
No.
kind of like even in the UK, he's probably not
Listen,
touching 50.
In the UK, no, that's what I'm saying. Top 50 in the world is quite high though. In the world,
I won't say it.
okay. In the UK, for me, when Angel
He's
was
amazing
at
though.
his-
He has a great voice.
when he was at his most popular, he was definitely
Yeah.
top. No one can deny that. Who else? UK at the time, who else was competing? Please, who else was competing with Angel at the time? And this is like what?
In
What
R&B.
years was this? 13.
Wait, are we
2013,
talking commercial
14?
success as well? Because I feel like only certain songs like popped. Some not
No,
all.
So
I-
we have Labyrinth. Labyrinth
I
was
didn't- I
R&B.
didn't like the commercial. The commercial. I think he did a song called "Wonderful" is a decent song.
Emily,
but not
Emily
his best song.
Sunday is kind of
Oh, actually,
R&B.
okay,
I'd say, yeah,
yeah.
I'd say
Emily
Emily
Sunday's the
Sunday,
best.
yeah.
One of the best.
I'm saying we can go down a list. Even Adele is on
yeah.
top there, fam.
Adele,
And Adele isn't really like R&B, but
Adele?
he's
R&B.
fam.
Yeah.
Okay, what genre are you gonna put in?
Well, that's a good question. Pop. But then what kind of popular music
But
does she
like,
make?
some
Early
people would even
Adele was
describe her
not
as
pop.
like soul. Just saying. Just
Yeah,
saying.
no,
Not that I
no.
agree,
I can hear that.
but
I
some
can
people will
justify
put
that.
her down that.
R&B
no,
is
no,
a
like, as an
reach.
R&B soul, people would put Adele in. So there are some people that will put Adele in that pocket.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like the R&B soul category. I know, yeah, she's white, so it makes it a bit more problematic. But like, where else are you gonna put it? You're trying to tell me that Angel can sing more than Adele?
I was even thinking people
Alright,
like
let's relax.
Lamar, but obviously,
No, that's old. That's
Yeah.
old. Bro. That's even going way back.
okay, if we're talking about date, like current.
The thing is, okay, so like someone like Omar, who was like neo soul R&B, top tier. No one's touching him.
Oh, yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Sade,
Oh wow,
Yeah.
even
Oh,
though she
wow.
hadn't dropped anything.
that's the levels are not
Okay, we're
levels
mentioning
aren't the same.
Uh, what's the name? Floetry, they're from the UK.
Oh yeah.
Does that count?
But different times though.
So I'm
different
saying
times,
it's,
but
it's
still,
just
but
muddy
still.
waters.
At
Man.
the yeah, that's different.
The
time.
levels are different.
That's
The
different
levels
time.
are
What do you
Three
different.
different times.
Yeah, Floetry's like
No,
what?
Angel and them.
Floetry was like
Yeah.
90s, noughties.
So you're talking about like the Chris Brown era.
I'm
That
talking
Chris
about
Brown
that-
era.
Yeah, like the
like
you know when
Tinchy Strider,
and them
Tiny
were-
Temper.
Tinchy Strider,
That.
yeah.
Jesse J.
Jesse J, yeah. Them ages, them times.
You're trying to tell me Angel is top? My brother. I don't
No,
know.
he's okay. What is he like? Middle tier then? He's not.
What I'm
middle
saying,
tier.
if we're talking about the UK, if you're talking about the UK, then you're probably
In the
right.
world.
But in the
I
world,
can't say
Alright, so nothing. But I'm just gonna say, for me, he like the reason why I said even push into like global, I would say like
yeah.
his sound was unique and his sound was very versatile for like it wasn't just UK based, but anyone could listen to it, if that makes sense. I think
Shaka.
Shaka's another one. But I think Shaka and Angel, I feel like they're on the same level.
Whoa.
Am I lying?
I don't even know how to even
I kind of
tackle this one. It's a big one. I don't know. It's
They're
a bit
not.
messy.
I don't see one
no.
above.
Honestly, from what I've heard, like from
that
both
makes
of
sense.
them, I agree.
I prefer.
I do like Shaka as well.
personally.
Cheka's got bangers though. He's got.
But I get you in terms of like
The thing is that I don't
similar
think.
kind of thing.
You know what? I think I'm being
Yeah.
unfair because I don't think I know a lot of like Angel songs. Maybe that's why.
No, trust me. Angel's got good songs.
But Burns
I
is
think-
the super fan here.
I'm not a super fan, but I think for me, I just loved his music, man. Like for me, it was very
I respect it, yeah.
authentic and real, man.
Yeah.
You get it, but
No, I hear it. I hear it.
yeah, man.
So obviously we see this a lot with like when we talk about art and like the discussions we've had have been like with music, but do we ever see it with other mediums as well? Like, do we really like revere other mediums in the same way that we do with music and artists and stuff?
I'm trying to think. I think in this, to be fair, this is my personal opinion anyway. Indie films are better than
Mhm.
major studio films. So I feel like maybe we have that kind of effect of like, oh, that film, have you never seen that film? That's a cult classic. It's underrated. Which is fair. But again, I feel like that whole conversation of like this is underrated and this is that, it just, for me, it's such a nonsensical conversation just because it's like, if it was going to be big, it would have been big, but it wasn't for circumstances out of anyone's control or out of our control. So it's like there is no point trying to think what if in that kind of situation, because then it's almost like you're insulting it, basically saying that I know this is a bit of a weird analogy, but what's her name? Michaela Cole.
Yeah.
That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She her show, I still haven't
There you
seen
go.
it, by the way.
I made this
What's
for
it
you.
called? I May Destroy You,
I watched
and
the
the
part, yeah, I
whole
used to watch it.
controversy around her not getting any nominations.
Mm.
Like me personally, I just feel like that takes away from what she's already, the thing that she's already broken.
Impact of it is.
Do you know what I'm
is
saying?
more
Yeah.
than enough. I think when it comes to, like, I think as creators and as artists, I think what we should always take on is that as long as this has blessed somebody or this has actually helped somebody, that's enough.
You've done your job.
Done your job. Do you get me? So like that's why even
You know?
obviously going back to the Angel example, for me, he done his job because he made good music that I could really relate to. Do you get what I'm saying?
You never let this agent
I'm
go.
not
Like,
letting it go. I'm not letting it go.
yeah.
I'm not letting it go. But no,
Fine, give us an Angel song that you like then.
Ooh, let me find one. I wonder if I can play it.
Ah,
Wait,
You don't even know the song, fam.
Copyright.
You
No,
just
no,
Not
gotta
on
say-
this podcast. Copyright.
One second. Now this song here. Ooh, okay. In fact, whilst I'm looking for my thing, what are songs that you would say somebody has to listen to, like currently? Like, what is one song you would say you must run this rhythm? And I'll give also my one, but let me look for this Angel thing.
Hey,
Hey,
is that the song that you
don't
decided?
copyright us, so please.
Sorry, my bad. Oh, to me, so into you, but that's what was on my like Spotify at the time.
Yeah.
Not that's the song that I was gonna pick.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, Michael, sorry, just to your question, I think, yeah, it happens in different fields. But I think it's one of those interesting situations where it's like, the music is very, because music is one of those art forms that crosses so many
Yeah.
different boundaries of this, like art. It goes into design, it goes into video, filmmaking, it goes into audio production. It touches so many different things that it's almost become like, it becomes the spine
That's
of
really
what
good.
we always
Yeah.
look at, you know. So I feel like that's why music is very easy to say, oh, that person's underrated. Look at the art, look at the design that they made around the album, look at the videos, how can you not, you know.
Yeah.
But then it's like with other things, like you never hear someone say that's an underrated designer or that's an underrated painter. That just sounds weird. Oh, Picasso, yeah, fam. Nah, Picasso is underrated, you know. Man didn't see
I'm
his
not gonna
shine.
lie.
I would argue that.
I would say that.
I would
Dog,
argue that.
many
Hey, you want to kill me for
underrated.
arguing?
Eh?
Argue.
Yeah.
Eh?
No, I can't lie.
Excuse
There are
me.
No,
many
in your head, but you don't. You
me.
say out loud to say that's underrated. He's underrated.
Nah.
No, I probably
You would never
in
come, you never say
conversations
like,
with
oh, he's
certain
underrated.
people. It
But I mean, like,
depends.
why? Like, how come you're not where you?
Probably,
How come you're not where you need to be?
I'd probably
Honest
say
words.
I feel like it's probably gonna be. I don't know. I'd probably say it's more of like a visibility thing.
Yeah.
More recognition, I say.
Yeah,
what
I
you're
think
doing
that's what
deserves
yeah,
more recognition.
yeah.
You need your flowers.
So
you need your flowers.
So are you trying to tell me that you've seen great designers who haven't been approached? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Because like again, my short time as a commissioner, I can tell you this: people are looking at every single thing that people post. Small, big, doesn't matter. They'll find you.
Yeah.
So if you're, unless maybe again, I could be wrong.
I feel like I've seen a
from
lot of
different
people
perspective.
that their work is great, amazing, but
Yeah.
sometimes there's just like a disconnect with. I don't know how to explain it. It's just there are some people that when moments come, get the retweets, get the likes, get the attention and stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe because this person's network is smaller or pool of friends is smaller and isn't like spread and scattered into loads of different bits, that maybe it doesn't get the same level of recognition that I would expect.
Yeah.
I definitely say that because I feel like there's
Okay.
loads of people that I've seen across like photography or design or any form of art that I'm just like, wow, like your work is actually incredible. I'm just surprised that certain people may not see it yet. Especially when you see, not to like belittle anyone, especially when you see maybe certain designers or other people maybe being recognized for stuff, and you may feel like the work isn't up to par with others.
That's good.
Yeah. So I think that's what it always kind of comes
There's a
down
conversation to be had. Marketing as a designer.
We
A lot of designers do not know how
Definitely,
to market themselves.
It's
And I feel like that's a
because
problem.
Where is the resource and information to do that? And have we seen that done well? Like for you guys, who would you say is somebody that you've seen do that well?
As in market themselves as a designer.
Yeah. Do you see that? That
In my head,
don't
I'm
see
thinking
people
like,
market.
as a designer, it's such an easy way to advertise yourself.
It's weird. I
Instagram.
don't. Yeah, I'd probably
Post.
say it's probably design pages that are consistently posting, but they don't even necessarily designers that I know anyway. They may not necessarily be showing work, but it's more like design content or like exploration. I don't know, or explorations actually. Yeah, or like challenges or stuff.
Exploration, the process,
Definitely,
and blah
definitely.
blah.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, I feel like if it comes to that, then that would probably help. But a lot of designers would be like, yeah, look, I posted one thing, I didn't get a retweet. But you barely
No, it's
post.
actually, it's
You're
true.
the one who
It's
knows
true.
who
It's
you
very
are.
True. It's very, very true.
Like, you haven't posted in 7 years. You come out with your dusty Twitter and you post and you think people are going to retweet. It doesn't work like that.
Hey,
You know, you have to be proactive. No, honestly, you have to be proactive. Like, even me, this is even to me. Me, I don't even post that. Like, a lot of my work that I've done, I don't post.
Yeah, so you can't complain if you're not getting the recognition.
This is true.
Exactly. That's why, for me personally, you never hear me complain about not getting this opportunity or that opportunity. If I want it, I get it. If I don't want it, I don't get it. 'Cause I don't want it. It's simple. So the thing is, like, that's the same way I approach things. I feel like a lot of people are very nonchalant and think things will just come to you.
That's
You need
the
to work,
biggest-
fam.
You need to
You
work
might be
hard.
talented, but you can't
Biggest
sit down.
selling of a dream that you'll ever like
needs to
do
work
is don't wait for people. If there's one thing I learned last year and the years before,
Fam.
it's a scam. Stop waiting for people. Stop it.
I'm chilling,
Stop it.
thinking, oh, the company will always come to me. No.
It's a myth.
Sometimes chase
You've
the company.
You've
fam.
actually got to go out and
Yeah.
do certain things. Put yourself out there, because if you think, oh yeah, I'm
Make
just
yourself
creating really
seen.
good work and the right eyes will come across it and it's fine. Stop that fake humility. I was once there. It's actually a lie. It's a lie from the pit of
That
hell.
was me once.
It's the,
Look at
it's-
me
no,
now.
It's, honestly, it's the life from the pit of hell. Because if you're thinking, the right eyes will just see it and stuff. No, promote your work.
I'll be honest, and this is just me, and it might be bold, but I feel like people who say that are scared, and they use that as an excuse.
Oof.
They know that they generally feel like their work is not good enough, and that's why they say the right eyes will come.
Goodness.
If they generally felt like their work was good enough, they'll be shouting about it. Trust me. So it's cool if you feel like your work is
Say
not
that
good
again?
enough. That's okay. It's a process. You know. Again, that's just me. Right, what mic drop?
No, I
Wait,
I
Burns, are you
genuinely
right?
didn't hear what you said.
Are you serious?
My wife had this car.
So I'm
out here,
saying-
mad quick. I mean, dead serious.
Oh, scene. So what I'm saying is that a lot of people use that as an excuse. They say, "Oh, the right eyes will come to my work," blah blah. Or like even the Christians will say, "God will make a way." You know, people will use any excuse just because they know their work isn't good or good enough.
Wait, whoa.
Here
So
it
my
was the
thing is
second
this,
time, yeah.
the work is not
Whoever's
good.
listening to this, I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to tell you, you listening, if you are one of those people and you know that your work is not good enough, that's okay. But be real with yourself. Improve yourself. Find a way to improve yourself. Study. That's one thing I've realized as well. A lot of designers don't like to learn.
God, tell them.
You know, look, and even me sometimes, yeah, I'll sit down, I'll be like, right, I haven't learned anything in a long time. I need to go and learn. You know, you need to know when, okay, cool, you've exhausted all your skills, you've got into the best that you can be in your skills. Go and learn something new. Don't be a bum. Don't sit down and expect yourself to get better doing nothing. That makes no sense. Pick up a new skill. Open the book. Nah, fam. No. Hey, look, I'm taking the gloves off. Pick up a book, yeah. Pick up a book. You don't only have to learn about design as a designer. Go and learn about music. Go and learn about art history. Go and learn about, architecture. Go and learn about, philosophy, whatever it is. Find inspiration somewhere. There's inspiration everywhere around you. Literally, go outside. Grass can give you inspiration, fam. You're sitting at home saying you're uninspired, creative block, blah blah. Get up and go and do something about creative block. Creative block is you sitting down, fam. You're constipated creatively because you're not moving.
Actually, don't.
Wow.
You need to drink spiritual yogurt. You need to drink creative yogurt.
That's a word. That's a word. Man said you're constipated creatively because you're not going anywhere. You're not moving.
Yeah. You're not going anywhere. You're sitting there. Your mind is still. You're looking at the same thing on Instagram, scrolling through bad bees every day, and then you're wondering why your brain is not. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. But not on the real though.
Agbo and purge. That's what he told you to do.
Fam, you need to purge yourself.
You know,
Michael,
it comes back to,
honestly, that's the word. Purge.
Cultivate.
Wait, what did you say, Jude?
Cultivate. That's what it is.
Fam. No, I'm saying Michael just said a key word there, purge. I always say this to my friends sometimes. I'll be like, look, I need to purge. What I do is I just go through my stuff, delete.
What do you mean by
this?
delete?
I don't like. I put it out. Whatever I have, because the thing is, what happens as
it's true.
creatives,
It's true. You
I
just kind of
think
keep
anyway,
it.
is that when you get to a point, you have so much work that a lot of designers get into this habit, and not really designers, people who are creative in general. You do create something and you just keep refining, or you go through it. And you're looking at it. Me, I can sit down and listen to some of my songs from 2012, and I'll listen to the song. I'll be like, wow, yeah, vibes, and I'll never put it out. And I keep refining. And then what you realize is that you can never find that new inspiration. You can never take that new step because
it was in that
you're
moment,
stuck
right?
in the moment.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that moment is captured. It's so amazing to you, but you're scared that you put it out there. Guess what? People won't like that moment because it was a moment. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 minutes ago, a minute ago. You need to get up and find that new inspiration. You can't sit down and complain about, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, excuse my language, you can't sit in shit and say it stinks. It just makes no sense. As a creative, your whole purpose should be about finding that new thing, finding like the next thing, or even if you're gonna refine, you need to refine with something new. You know what I'm saying? You don't put, gold in old dirty fire, like with dust and metal filings. You need to get a new flame. Shout out to Chris Brown. But yeah, you need to get a new flame.
You know
what I'm
Chris
saying?
Brown.
And like,
I am so disappointed.
okay, fine.
The song bangs though. Usher's
okay,
good,
fair enough. But yeah,
sorry.
Fam, you Michael, you need to get that new flame. Like me personally, I just feel like I stopped using that excuse of creative block because I've gotten to the point where it's like everybody does so much in this day and age. Everybody is a multi something. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's a multi something. Yeah, you sell socks, but you also own a business that runs ads on Twitter. Oh yeah, you do dog grooming, but you're also a pastor or a youth worker. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, no one in this day and age, and I don't think anyone ever in life. Like my dad always says this. Yeah, at church he's a pastor, at home he's a father, to my mom he's a husband. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that you play different roles in different spaces. So don't limit yourself and say I'm a designer and that's it. No. You're a designer, cool. Go and read a book.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't just be saying that because you design doesn't mean you just have to design. You have to bring influences from different parts of your life.
Bro, that's so important, man. We can't limit ourselves. I think we're gone are the days where it was like we just did one profession for the rest of our lives. Like
Yep.
For us to grow as people, we just need to just do things, man. Like for me, like I remember there was a time where I used to just do phone photography, and for me that was so liberating because I was actually doing something I liked. I was getting better at it as well. You get, and it's not always. It doesn't always have to be for the gram or for social media, man.
Facts.
Just do things because you want to do it.
Facts.
See, I remember there was a time where I didn't listen,
Get your brain
listen
going.
to certain music because it was like I didn't used to listen to jazz because I thought it would be weird. I thought it would be embarrassing. I love jazz music. Do you get me? So I almost like confined myself and was like, no, I can't listen to jazz music. That's weird. And now I listen to jazz music. I'm so inspired. So do the things that you actually do love because don't do things to impress people, man. That's dead. That's dead.
Who's gonna stop you?
true.
Nobody.
No, yeah, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead.
Do what you need to do for you.
Yeah.
That's one focus, especially in this like
Do what you need to do for
in this
you.
hyper focus.
Yes.
Not hyper focus, like just Instagram, social media that we feel like we need to like present everything that we do. Like, yeah, just do what you need to do for you, and I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that needs to be a song.
Oh, is that gonna be on your next EP / album?
My next album is
Oh.
about pain.
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably enjoy that.
I'm lying. It's definitely not about pain. It's definitely not about pain. I
I've just put
haven't
myself
started
out
yet.
there,
I'm
vulnerable for the
doing
world,
too many
that's
different things right now. It's okay. It's okay. We can cut it out. I lied. We won't cut this out.
Fine, that's
Sorry,
cool.
Michael.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like sometimes I
funny,
like
yeah, 'cause-
sad songs because I feel like they're a lot more real.
I love good. Yeah, I hear them. I hear them.
I'll just go into that space. I'm like, yeah, this is how I feel.
Do you know what sad song I love? Yeah, it's so sick. Neo.
I thought you
How
were
you
gonna
feeling?
give. I thought you were gonna give me something
sing
a
again,
bit more
sing again.
like, oh.
Man said,
No, you know what? It's 'cause it's
how come
Valentine's
man
Day
just
tomorrow.
say
It's 'cause
I love
Valentine's Day
jazz and then go to Neo?
I
So
was,
sick of
I was
love.
like if I give you a
what kind
sad
of-
song of mine, mine's like Kendrick Lamar Feel. Like that's oh god. If you listen to it, you'll be like, are you okay, man? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry, just sometimes.
What, so sick doesn't make you feel sad when you're fam. I remember when you're yeah. That song. What?
How can I let other
All I remember is the snow.
Oh yeah, the snow. That was a really good music video.
I like the little
No, it wasn't. Watch it back.
split screen and the yeah.
yeah. Wait, let's watch it now quickly. Actually, 1 second.
Watch it back. It's
You said it's that.
Wait, it's okay.
No, it was alright.
Wait.
No, like the little. Oh, am I thinking of a
Wait.
completely different video? Like, yeah,
No,
in the
that-
mountains, he had his little hoodie.
Alright, let me play it quickly.
That's alright.
I'm actually dying already, fam.
Oh my god, Neo looks so
actually
young.
dying.
What?
Man say it's no good. Okay, cool. We can't.
I remember when we
that's
all
good?
found out Neo was bald.
What?
look at this.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, 2009. This is sick.
Does this not look like
Oh, Hype Williams.
Williams?
No, it doesn't.
You didn't like this video?
What? This video was cool.
The video was cool.
What? Look at the scenery.
Isn't this what like that? It looks like that Drake photo.
Oh, you're annoying. You're so annoying because I know what you're talking about. You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off. You're talking about that views picture, yeah? That he's on a balcony. I
Exactly
strongly
that.
dislike you.
How do you like how what this video? You think this video
It was cool.
Put in context.
It's thing going back
2009.
2000,
in the
yes.
day? No, yeah, no. I
It
hear
was,
you.
I don't even think it was 2009. I think that's when it even 2006 because that's when it came onto
was
YouTube
earlier.
because like they had some.
Oh yeah, 2006. Yeah.
But yeah, like at that time, this was was this his first song or second?
It was early. It was early one. Still.
Probably what
This is
first-
like
first
your
second.
no. This was great. Part of your debut. I thought this was
Cold.
great.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Not
The
the
song is
video,
great.
I'm
Don't get
talking
me
about
wrong.
the video as well.
The video is very underwhelming.
It's your typical
Like the video after a second, you're
R&B
like,
video.
okay, enough snow. It's like
This is like a
fam, I've just seen
template
straight
R&B
snow.
Exactly. You're getting the feels.
That's a
You're getting the
template R&B.
shots of him just singing in the distance, the girl and him, they get upset, they break up or do whatever, they go their separate ways, thinking about deep in life, and then they come back together.
What's the best
I'll tell
music?
you
What's the best
a
music
great
video you've ever
music
watched?
video.
Greatest.
The best. Yeah.
Not necessarily great, but my favorite.
Yeah.
Jesus.
My favorite is I think it's Janet Jackson in Q-Tip. Gone Till It's Gone.
Okay.
Let me start that one now.
Why would you ask such a question?
That video,
Oh, I don't know what to choose.
beautiful.
I actually don't know what to choose.
To be fair, I have a long list, but like that is definitely top tier.
Let me slap that one now, blood. Alright, sweet.
You ask that.
Oh, adverts, okay.
I can't think of
I was like thinking,
anything.
like, damn. But you see this
most
video?
Recent, most recent.
Crack cocaine straight.
Hmm.
Most recent video.
Damn, this video is looking serious already, fam.
Oh wow.
Fam, it's such an amazing video.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre this afterwards. This is giving me Dr. Umar vibes.
You're so annoying.
Maybe that's why I like it. But it's so beautiful. You know what I like here? I love when I see black people
Yeah.
doing normal things, and it's just the fact that it's people in the club dancing, sweating, just being people. I just love that idea because it's not every day we was kings and this and that. Like I just hate the idea of like you know what I'm saying, like we are like it's human beings doing
guys.
human things.
Yeah.
Like look at him getting a haircut, messing up his hair. Like that's
Why am
just
I googling
human
best
things.
music videos of all time just to get some kind of idea and reference? Because I can't think.
Wow.
Yeah, this one is definitely like my top 5.
Mm.
Most recent one. To be fair, I like this Soti Soul video
Who?
that my little sister put me on. Soti Soul, this band from
I don't think I know.
is it East Africa, I believe, East or South. I might be wrong, but funny enough, it's my little sister's name. I shouldn't have said that.
You
I'll
can
edit
edit.
her out. But yeah, it's called Susanna.
You can therefore beat that one. Mm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like I remember Mac in your visuals of the week. He put Loyal Kana
Nux,
and
right?
Nux. Is it stand up?
Do you like you
I thought it
love
was
that
really
video?
good. Like
I really
it was
I love
this,
it.
the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Especially when
Speaking of which, that Locano video is very beautiful. The one he did with Madlib. Let me. What's it called?
what's the
Locano.
video
When
that
they Madlib. Yeah, Michael. I think you would love this a lot. Yesterday.
oh,
It's called
actually,
yesterday.
Ooh,
I just thought of someone
yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Beautiful video. man.
Recently, I'm not gonna lie, FKA Twigs. A lot of her music videos, my god. What?
Yes. Have you seen the one where she was fighting? When she gets split in the middle.
Bro.
That was-
no.
that was beautiful.
So I said, so oh god. I think just seeing the dedication that she
You lot
has,
run that-
especially as
run
an
that to me
artist.
afterwards,
Cause to learn how
That
to
video
learn
is
sword
beautiful.
fighting.
The one, the Don't Judge Me video is beautiful as
Actually,
well
that-
with
that is.
Heady One and Fred again.
I think one artist I would say. I mean, I don't particularly like. He's not my favorite of artists, but I think the way he presents art is crazy. I think it's Slow Tie.
I need to
You
watch
see
his stuff
music
properly
videos,
because I don't.
They are.
Yeah, I love the
Crazy.
crave direction. What's the name? The Rest is the name of the production
Bro,
company.
it is crazy.
They're very,
production,
very-
like different
yeah.
level.
Mm.
Yeah. You're right.
I think right now I think he's probably killing it right now. Like for me,
True. I think I like the consistency. Me, that's one thing I love about
Yeah.
like just art in general is the continuum of it. If you have a project and the project carries through a
Yes.
yeah,
theme all the way down to the end of it, it makes a complete world. You can kind of get lost in it
Yeah.
because you know this is who this person
Exactly.
is right now. And that's the lovely thing that we are talking about earlier about like when we used to have CDs and even now when like the resurgence of vinyl and stuff. What I think we've realized is that when there's art that is very, it's a whole project. When you take the project,
Yeah.
you're taking the music video, you're taking the words around it, the voice, even sometimes you use a whole project, the person's voice is completely different from another project. Like it just makes you feel like this is art. It doesn't feel like just music for a feeling in the summertime or this is a summer song or this. No, this is a body of work where I've taken my time to craft a feeling, an emotion, a way of life and put it to you. Like I think that's why everybody or most people or some people love Kendrick Lamar. Because every project feels like its own world. Like you can literally say, okay, this is the Jupiter and this is the Venus and this is the Mars.
Step into a new world.
You know what I'm saying?
The best music
Like-
makes like a whole
like-
new reality
yeah.
you actually experience. Like when you're listening, you feel like you're actually there. And I think someone like, okay, this is controversial, but someone like Drake, for example, I think that's why Drake is so big at where he is right now. Because something like
Yeah.
Take Care, for example,
Oh God.
when you listen to Take Care, you enter a different
I
world.
don't care what I
You
don't
get
I don't care
I'm
what anyone
Like,
says.
it's a
That's
particular
classic.
feeling.
In my opinion, I feel like
it's a
that
classic.
that
Take Care.
that was a shift.
You can even see the album cover. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see the album cover, like, you can see it, you can picture it, like, it's...
That was a mood.
So I think anything that... Yeah, that was a mood.
Right.
That was a mood.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Kendrick was a mood. J. Cole was a mood. All different artists. Do you know what I mean?
I
So
don't know
it's
about that
like-
one, but yeah.
Yeah, man.
Ah, damn, I hate J. Cole so much. I don't know why.
What? What do you say?
I need to understand why I don't like J. Cole anymore. I actually don't like. Every single time someone brings J. Cole up, I cringe.
Nah, wait. Are you a
I
Kendrick?
don't know
Are you a
why.
Kendrick fan?
Yes.
Yeah, you lot come like Nigeria versus
That's
Ghana,
funny.
or like Mill.
No.
Mill versus
I love
West Ham.
Kendrick and I love Drake.
Big man
I
team.
love Kendrick. I love Drake. I even love Big Sean.
No. Big Sean, yeah.
Yep.
Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Especially like
Is he good?
especially after Dark Sky
Yeah.
Paradise. I'm just
I don't really like his voice. I don't really like listening to. It's a bit too much for me.
If you don't like him, you don't like Drake.
No. Drake.
They sound kind of the same.
Do they?
They rap the same.
I wouldn't say so.
Drake and Big Sean.
Yep.
Nah, I disagree.
You
Yes.
think so?
I don't know. For me, he's one.
And I'm not saying every single time, but what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is that they have similar tonality. Obviously, Drake is more of a chameleon than Big Sean, but there's a lot of like, tonalities
for
that
me,
Big
I
Sean
love,
and Drake
I love
have.
the
That
Drake.
laid
I
backness.
love the Drake that actually sings rather than the Drake that raps. I feel
Oh, okay, no, totally
yeah.
understand.
Do you know what I mean? I think for me, when it comes to Drake, like
Yeah.
when he does his music, like he mixes in his singing and his rapping, I think those are the best ones.
That's
Yeah.
a strength, to be
Yeah.
fair, I think.
Rule of Thirds podcast.
Alright, so let me reload that one. Since we're talking about art and stuff here, like going to earn like wars and realities, what was the process of making Gets' new album, Conflict of Interest? What was the process?
We got you for that as well.
Process wise,
Words.
it wasn't. It was interesting because I think initially when I was kind of like presented the opportunity to do it, it wasn't like, oh, go and do the album art.
Yeah.
You know, it was just kind of like, can you do something like this? Initially, it was only meant to be a reference to then send to someone to do. And I was like, and when I was being talked through what they want to do, I was like, but I can do this. And then I was like, I'll just give it a shot. And then my boss was kind of like, okay, see what you can do by tomorrow. And then I was like, okay, cool. So I just started like making some ideas, blah, blah, blah. And then I think from there, it was a thing where, okay, this looks interesting. Try this, try that, try this, try that, try this, try that. They showed him a few times. And then eventually I had to have a conversation with him. And then we kind of like just basically talked through the whole process. Like with my screen being shared with him, and then just kind of like him explaining like this is how he wants it, like the feeling, the idea behind it, which is quite interesting to be fair. And again, he's an amazing guy, amazing rapper, amazing artist in general. So it was kind of like very, what's the word? Very interesting to see because again, design is my thing. You know, music is more his thing. Like that's his thing, bread and butter. So it's just an interesting kind of like him expressing his things and me like even just listening. He wasn't saying too much, but I was just kind of like picking up on what he was saying and the way he would express things and the musicality and even just the way he was talking. Like we talking, he like all of a sudden you hear him almost like in a pattern, in like a scheme kind of thing, and it's just interesting to kind of like listen to how someone expresses what they see with their words. Where me, I'm a completely different. I take a different approach. So just interesting, kind of working through that, and then we did that. Went through like a few alterations back and forth, and obviously because we're working with Rough Mercy, who kind of like carried through the theme with the scribbles and the little scratches through the whole video from Mozambique all the way down to No Mercy. Yeah, so it's kind of like me basically putting in the I guess almost like the meat. For the meal, because what I think for me anyway, the way I saw it was the embellishments of Rough Mercy was amazing because it made it feel like unison, and every single step of the way it was always the embellishment that tied it in, but it was always Gets. So it was just kind of like figuring out how we can put all these evolutions of Gets, which obviously became the album art of him as he wanted it, with the splits showing like different sides of him, Justin, Ghetto, and then Gets in the middle. So I think it was just kind of like that whole idea of, okay, cool, putting that all together and making it feel like almost like you were opening someone's book,
Yeah.
but then making sure that it was obvious what kind of book you're kind of going into. And I think it ties in with the title perfectly, that whole conflict of interest of like, you're not really sure what side, because some people say, oh, I like Gets when he makes more, energetic, vibrant music. And some people are like, no, I like Gets when he's talking about his daughter, or he's talking about black women, or he's talking about black empowerment, or just struggles in life, and just that casual conversation.
Like, which one should I do? Which one?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, exactly, and that's an artist. Even as a designer, you get into that space where you're like, which one do I choose? Do I go this way or that way? And I think for me, honestly, it's a massive honor just to be part of it, because seeing it, hearing the songs, and it's just like, it's amazing. And I think as much as people use this word like a lot, like I really want him to like blow exceedingly, just because I feel like he's one of those artists who kind of like has the whole package, and he's had it for the longest time. It's just one of those things where it's like perfect timing, and I feel like this is probably that project that is going to be like perfect timing, where it's like, okay, cool, because everybody says, oh yeah, Gets is a sick rapper, but never bring him up in a conversation when it comes to like artists, and it's almost disrespectful.
Artist,
he every single project that I've known Gets to drop has always been very artistically led. He's always kind of like made sure that it was the arts before everything else. It wasn't about beef. It wasn't about it was always about making sure the art was top tier. My bars, top tier. The selection of musicality throughout all the way down to the art direction, top tier. And I feel like this time it's kind of like, a perfect storm. So again, for me anyway, it was just kind of like a very nice experience to have, because then now I can be like, I was part of that process to get to where he is now. Yeah, I can't complain. Can I?
That's amazing, man. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of history and art. You get so. No, big well done on that, bro.
Honestly.
Proud, man.
Thanks. I work hard for it. I deserve it.
Come on. But yeah, man. I think that's the perfect way to end it. I mean, this has been a very beautiful conversation, a very funny one. I'm still like very sure.
Don't say Angel.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say Angel.
Okay. Oh my god. She just can't let it go.
Anyway, Angel, obviously, big you up in it. But I think even just the breadth of conversation is so interesting, man. And yeah, all I can say is that we'll be back next week, and more fire, more heat,
pressure,
more enjoyments. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, which is at Rule of Thirds Pod.
Yeah.
That's Rule of Thirds Pod. They'll probably be in the description or somewhere. But yeah, we have quite a lot of extensive and very informative conversations to come in the future. Hopefully, some guests as well. But yeah, thank you for being or staying with us and listening to us ramble on. Hopefully, it didn't feel too much of a, what do you call it?
It definitely wasn't. What do you mean?
It wasn't.
They loved it.
Yeah. So
come on.
But yeah, as Bern said,
feel free to rate us as well.
We go again.
If you loved it, you can give a review 5 stars. Why not?
Yeah, man. So it's been your host Burns,
Michael,
and Jude. See you lot next week, or speak to you guys next week.
Come on.
Peace out.